Hi guys, it's your girl Jadida, and it is good to be back here, and even better to have you back here with me. If this is your first time here, then you're welcome. I really hope you find this interesting enough to come back again. For every returning subscriber, guys, you know I love you and I am super grateful to you for every single time you come back here. Thank you guys. Because we're working with time and we still have a couple of stories to share as we round up the entire series, let's just get straight to today's stories. I'm sharing this because it's one of my most painful and saddest experience in my life so far. On a Monday morning, I received news that my aunt's village was attacked. She's my father's sibling that I'm most close to. Growing up, I'll go spend holidays in her house, so she was like my mom. I love to go to her house. So her husband, his brother, and 10 other people were killed in the spot, and my auntie was kidnapped with 2 of her kids of 4 years and 8 months. Trying to take in the news and expecting a call for her ransom money and how to go about it. Meanwhile, the husband and the remaining people killed were buried. On Wednesday night, I received the most tragic news of my life. My aunt had been shot dead. It was unbelievable. It still is till today. I cried helplessly for more than a week, hoping the news would be false as we didn't get her body to bury. But sadly, it is. A week later, the remaining women were released with 2 of her kids, but neither my aunt or her body returned. They left her to rot somewhere and orphaned her kids. My best aunt had been taken away from me in the most gruesome manner. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get over it. Between August 2021 to February of 2022, I have had different things hit me. I have lost just too much and strength to carry on is no longer my fault. But I keep keeping on because I'm alive. So, I don't know what to say. How do you begin to console someone for some type of loss that you know was uncalled for? It's not like I'm saying there's a loss that is called for, but there are some types of losses that I'm literally blank right now. I don't know. I can't put my thoughts into words. I can't even get my thoughts to gather together. There are some losses that happen and we're able to say it is well, this too shall pass and all, and there are some that it's just like nothing feels right. Like everything you want to say, you just feel that it's not serving the purpose, you know. I think that's the place I'm in right now. There's so much I want to say, but it just doesn't sit. I would just say this one thing that I know for a fact, and it is a prayer that the God that knows all things, sees all things, understands all things, knows why all things happen, is able to change all things. I just pray that He comforts you, your entire family, He comforts you all, and you may not be able to understand, it may not make sense to you now, and I'm not even trying to make it make sense to you at this point, but I just want to say, just rest in God's love and just rest in God's presence. That is literally the only thing I can say. It's not just your loss. For everyone who has had such terrible losses, I just pray that you rest in God's love and you rest in God's presence, and you just somehow make yourself believe because it's true. It's just that it might be hard to agree, accept, or believe it. But just find a way, just make yourself believe. If it means you saying it over and over again till you believe it, say it over and over again till you believe that God is good and God is still watching over you. God sees everything that happens. He knows why everything happens. And even if because of our carelessness as human beings and our wickedness as human beings and all of that, God is still in the picture. So somehow just see God in the picture. God, I see you in this picture. I can't see you right now, but I know you are in this picture. I cannot see where you are, what you are doing. I really honestly cannot say it. And I'm in so much pain and anguish and all of that. But I just know that you are in this picture. So let me see you. Help me see you in this picture. Help me know that you're here for me. Help me know that you can do all things for me. And just pour out your pain and let him heal you. And then we'll keep praying for every single person that has lost someone, a property, a possession, whatever it is. Everyone that has gone through some type of loss, hurt, or pain, that God will continue to show himself faithful in your life, because the truth is he is. Thank you for sharing this story with me. I know it must have been very hard, but thank you nonetheless for sharing it with us. And we hope that it really just helped someone out there who has gone through similar loss, or not even up to or more than. We just hope that this helps them in no matter how little the way, just helps them feel a bit better and just let go of everything. Thank you once again for sharing this story. During my school days, everyone I meet in the course of the day I usually chat with, and we end up being buddies. I've met so many people as a result. There was this restaurant I usually go to and eat white soup and pounded yam. So on one of those days, a guy came there to eat as well and sat with me. He then asked what I was eating, and I told him white soup. He said he has heard of it but never eaten it, so I told him how nice it was. He ordered for it, ate and enjoyed it, and offered to buy me another plate or even a takeaway, but I said I was okay. He paid for my meal and drink, and we chatted for a while before I left, but I gave him my number. He called the next day and said I could save his number, but I forgot and didn't. He called again some other time, but I didn't know who was speaking because I didn't save the number and I just woke up from sleep. So he introduced himself and I pretended I knew who was speaking. He said I didn't sound like myself, so he said he'll call me back. I got a text with another number and said I should send my account number. I was a bit scared, but not really scared because the text didn't ask for my BVN, so I sent my account number. I immediately got an alert of 10K. I called the number, but no one picked. The guy then called me again and I picked. He said, "Oh yeah, my guy, you don't wake up now, Abby?" I didn't expect that from him at all. To cut the long story short, we've been good friends since then. This is just one of so many things he has helped me with, and the only reason, according to him, was that I introduced him to a nice soup he and his girlfriend loves now. I've learned from this experience to be good, honest, and loyal, because I've never tried to fraud or deceive him to get something from him. But he always knows when something isn't going well with me and always attempts to help me. In the midst of everything that is going on, if you look closely, there's still good. As much as there's a lot of evil going on, if you look closely, there's a whole lot of good that is going on in our world today. As much as people are being selfish, that is how much people are being selfless. As much as some people are behaving like they don't have a heart, that is how much there are a lot of people that behave that like they have a heart and can understand people's encounters, experiences, and people's feelings. So from this story, it just goes to say that there are good people. Some people will love you for no reason. Just it can be that they are your destiny helpers, permit me to say that. It can be just out of the good nature of their hearts, of themselves, and they will just be good and nice to you. The one thing I would say in this case is just try and reciprocate. Just be good to them in turn. Don't always expect things from them. Give as much as you can from your own end, and don't try to take advantage of them. We just are grateful to God that in a world that looks like there is so much evil and there's so much harm being done, we're just grateful to God that there is as much good that is being done. Just open your eyes, and instead of focusing on the evil and the bad things that are happening around you, try and focus on the good things. Try and identify the good and positive things happening and work with them. Just key into them, respond to them, learn from them, adjust using them, rather than just focusing your attention on the negatives and the evil things that are happening around us. Okay? Thank you so much for sharing this story with us. Next story, guys. I entered Keke one day going to Maraba and met a man inside. So I greeted him and sat down. There was a serious traffic that day, so the journey was a bit long. As we were going, someone wanted crossing the road and our Keke almost hit him. So I said something about people not being careful, and from there we talked a bit with the man. He said he liked the way I looked and the fact that I didn't have lashes and nails on, and I sounded respectful. I was sure surprised and said he didn't know me, but he insisted I was a good person, so I didn't argue. Along the way, he asked what I was doing, and I told him I make dresses, but I still want to learn and improve my work. He asked for my number, but I said I can't give it to him because I don't give strangers my number. Plus, I fear married men. He said okay, he won't force me. But before I dropped, he asked again, and I just decided to look at him as a responsible adult and give it to him. He paid my Keke fare and I left. Around a week later, he called and asked for my account details and sent me money just like that. We don't talk, and I've not met him again since that day. This is just one of many experiences I've had with strangers in Keke paying my fare or assisting me in one way or the other. That taught me to always be of help to others as well in every way I can. Guys, just like the other story we read, there's just so much good that is happening. This is just to further emphasize, focus on the good that is happening around you. Don't focus on the evil, don't focus on the bad. We know that it might happen to you and you might hurt for a period of time, and it might be really painful, and sometimes you will just not want to care again. You will just want to do things the way you want to, or the way it seems or feels easy for you. Like, it's almost like nothing really matters to you so much anymore because of how terrible you see things happening. But just take this as an encouragement. Just take this as a word today. Just try and focus on the good around you. Try and focus on the positive things that are happening around you. Try and focus on the good things that people are doing rather than on the negatives and on the bad things that people are doing. Try your best to avoid evil, to stay away from all of that. Be careful on your own part, and we pray that God will continue to protect every single person. But on your own end, just make sure you don't consume yourself with worry or fear or pain from your experiences. You just focus on the good things. The bad might be there, they might be in your face, and there might be no good for you to focus on. But just look for it, because it is a good thing, because it is a positive thing. Look for it, strive for it, just search anywhere you can find it and take hold of it and hold on to it. You get? Like I said, reciprocate when good things are done to you. I cannot even say how many times I've enjoyed this benefit of people paying for my transport fare, people helping me, people that I don't know, I have not met, and I don't even know if I will ever meet them. I might even meet them, but I will not recognize them. But they've done such big and small things that meant so much to me at that time. And the only thing that causes me to want to do is to reciprocate. It doesn't have to be to them exactly, but the feeling of joy and gratitude at that point when I was helped, I just want someone else to feel like that. So in every little way, she said she will always try and pay someone's keke fare, try and help someone. Just any way that she can. And I think if every one of us just try to do good, we will really reduce the level of the evil that is happening around us. Even if we don't reduce it so much, the good we're doing will gradually overshadow the evil and the bad that is happening. We keep hearing news of the bad, the evil things, the terrible things that are happening, and we don't hear news about the good things. Like, you have to search and search before you hear something about something good or positive happening. So let's put it out there and inspire people. Let's give people hope. Let's give people hope that yes, there are good people in this world. There's still someone that cares in this world. There's still someone that does not know you but can help you out of the blue and go and not expect anything from you. My goodness, guys, that would definitely change something in that person. So let's put good news out there. Thank you so much for sharing this story, and we have also learned a great deal from it. I know we're supposed to have 3 stories, but this is the end of the episode and we somehow have a lot of stories to share. So we have another story. I've made a lot of mistakes in the past, especially last year in my personal life and business. So I started this year with a desire to learn from them and do better. I started by being intentional about my quiet time and not just reading through the word, but reading to understand. I've felt and heard God speak to my heart, and I've been working with it. I've also been careful on my part to learn more and do my work better, so I don't have problems with my customers. I had a dream on a Monday last month after our family devotion at around 5 a.m. that I saw an alert in my phone. I wondered how I could get that amount, but I claimed it nonetheless. That evening, I gave someone my last card but didn't feel sad about it. For some reason, I was just excited that day. Someone even saw me and said, "Omo, you're a rich girl, oh. You're even giving people money," not knowing that that was my last card. I claimed it. From that day, I got calls from customers wanting to make dresses and making transfers to me. That by Wednesday the same week, my account balance was that exact amount I saw in my dream. I was so happy and grateful to God. Seeing how the year has been moving for me, especially in my business, and positive things are truly going to be a lot better than previous years. I've learned to be careful what I use my mouth to say and what I choose to believe and work with. Thank you for this really, really positive and inspiring story. Honestly, guys, we have all gone through one form of challenge or problem or difficulty or the other in our lives, our businesses, our families. Like, we have all seen things not work our way, and sometimes it's our fault, sometimes it's not our fault, but then it has happened. And one thing I'm learning is, okay, you understand that this has happened, and the only thing you can do now is to move ahead, forge ahead, but try to do things differently, try to do things better so you can get better results. You don't want to repeat the whole circle again. So we can see her trying to do better intentionally. And this thing about, they say believe in something and the universe will help you get it. I can't remember the exact saying, but it's something like, just say it and even the universe will work for you to make it happen. That's just what I'm seeing here. She believed so strongly that this year was going to be a different year and a better year. And guys, we're just a March, but she can already see amazing results coming from it. But also say, even as we've seen in this story, that you walk with God. Like, sometimes working with God just sounds like one technical thing that will happen, but it's in the most random things. It's in the most random things. When you feel something so strongly in your spirit, and you could not have come up with this idea, these thoughts, there's no way you could have been the one to arrange these thoughts like that, but the thought is in your mind. Just know that God is at work, and you can differentiate when it is a thought from God and when it is from the enemy, because there's nothing good that can come out from the enemy. So when you see yourself thinking about certain things that are evil, don't go and say it's God that dropped the thought in your mind. It's not my God though. So just be careful about the thoughts, because the enemy will also drop thoughts in your mind. But just when you realize that, okay, God is doing certain things, when you feel it, you will feel it. When you feel it, walk with it. You don't have to struggle with it. You don't have to think, how will it happen? It's me, or how will I do it? No, that's not your part. That's not for you to think about or stress about. Just do what you can do. Just hold on to it, believe it, and operate with it. And you will see things happening. This year, I don't know if you've noticed it, but this year has been a different type of year. I don't know if it's just me, but this year there's just this different wind. There's something about this year. It's just different, So you can key into it and see that, okay, everything that you're getting involved with, you do it differently. And when you're doing it differently, make sure that you're doing it for the better differently. You don't want to go from good to bad or to worse. You want to get better, So just key into the Spirit of God, submit everything to Him, ask for His help, His guidance, and He will take charge. And the way things will be happening, you'll be so shocked because there's no explanation for you to give. Like, if they ask you, just be looking at them. I don't know. The way you are seeing it is the way I'm seeing it, but then we give glory to God, So I'm so happy and grateful to God that things are working out for you. Honestly, thank you for sharing this story, and I pray that even as it has started so well for you, it will continue like that and get better even as we go through the year, in Jesus' name. Thank you so much for sharing this story. Guys, we have another story. It's the last story, so stay with me. When I went to the university, I had a friend who I grew up with who was also given admission to the same course as me. I also had a neighbor from home who, even though we weren't friends before then, we got admission to the same course, so we automatically just became friends. So I will call my childhood friend B, and then my neighbor A. So B is her friend, her childhood friend, then A is her neighbor. That was not her friend before, but it's now her friend automatically. On getting to school, B and A met through me, and they also kind of had mutual friends because it's Kaduna, everyone knows everyone. The three of us became friends and started a journey. Along the line, B and A decided to get an apartment together because they didn't fully have their own place. This happened, and even though they lived next to me, we started to drift apart. 2, they say, are friends, and 3 is a crowd. I experienced that. They started doing things and excluded me, and I really didn't like it. They would go out and not tell me and come back, talk about stuff in codes when I am around. We were not 100% for God at the time, as we all wanted to taste the liberty that university life offered. As much as we tried to explore, I always kind of maintained some of my basic principles, while they just got fully into the whole thing. At first it was okay, but it got really serious, and I tried to speak, but they made me look like I was forming holier than thou, plus they wouldn't even tell me stuff. This is not me acting like a saint, because I was not. They changed the apartment to some place that wasn't close to mine, and the space between us increased. I remember one day I went to see them and they were talking in codes. I asked what they were saying and they said I didn't need to know. They even said they had something to talk about, but till I left. This was said to my face, so imagine how I felt, like the intruder. Initially, I had tried to follow them to do some exploring, but it was so hard, as they were things I was not cool with, and it kinda started affecting my grades. And well, I was too scared of failing because my dad would break my head, so I just let them do their thing. They started dating people who I felt they shouldn't for so many reasons, but I couldn't question them. They were adults, yeah? I have a great relationship with my sisters, so I told them most things, but not all because I was still trying to not paint them bad. They, on the other hand, went on to tell people that I was acting like I was a good and holy person while I was not, and I felt I was better than them. They told this to random people, neighbors who wouldn't keep their mouths shut and all. One of them came back to tell my sister and she told me, and I was disappointed. I just decided to download the whole gist to my sisters. My sisters already know me and all my escapades, so it was not new to them. But I was pained. As much as we were not 100% on the same page, I felt betrayed. They started to avoid me, talk behind my back and all. We took a friendship break for some time. We later got talking again and they repented. Both of them turned a new leaf. I also retraced my steps and relationship with God and we became friends again. We are still friends today, And I must say that those tough times just made us better and made me know the level I should place people and things I should share and not share. I've built a type of world where my sharing with friends now has limits, but I am still a good friend. Friendship has its ups and downs, but we should never let it get to the extreme and break what we share. This is a summary because typing is extreme sport. Wow, thank you so much for sharing. I'm most certain a lot of us can relate to this because, my goodness, who has not had a clash with a friend, for whatever reason? Some of the reasons that we have had clashes with friends might have been, in her own case, like they willing to do some things that you're not willing to do, and you talking to them just feels like you think you're better than us because you're not doing it, or because you don't want to do it and you are trying to, you can just quickly paint that picture and just mess up with the whole picture, the real thing that is happening. Somehow you people will leave it unresolved. And then some other friendship is you find yourself at different places. You see, in this case, they were in the same place, but some other clashes are you find yourself at different places at the same time, and you're both in different phases or levels of life, and somehow the one person can begin to feel, and this other person has more opportunities than me, and there can be just that little jealousy coming up, or the person that is even doing well might begin to feel, yes, I'm better, I have gotten it, and the other person have not. I can't roll with the person. And like she said, this is something that is, I'm tempted to say, almost inevitable. Like, I'm sure almost everybody has had one form of clash or another with their friends. That one is just a thing, I can relate this. I have this one friend that I have known the longest in my life. She's literally the one person that I've known as a friend for the longest period of time in my life, and we were not so close all that while, for years, over 10-15 years, and we're not that close all through the while, but somehow, no matter the drifting, we still come back. We drift and we come back, we drift and we come back. Sometimes we talk about what made us drift, sometimes we sort it, sometimes we just push it under the carpet and we just move on, but I think sometimes this drifting and coming back, if you're able to drift and come back, you just feel closer. There's just this bond that, okay, we have gone through the hard times together, so we're G's, and don't mind all this picture I'm trying to paint. I'm just trying to crack our memory, just bring it back to our memory that we've all experienced something close to this at one point or the other. It may not even be as serious as this, but we have all experienced some form of rubbing and friction with our friends. But then our friends are our friends. The ones that never came back, we just assume we're never meant to be, and the ones that came back, we are grateful we still have each other. The truth of the matter is, like some episodes back where we spoke about friendship, the truth of the matter is the fact that we're different people will always have different opinions about different things, and different opinions means you people clashing at one point or another. Now we pray that those clashes or those opinions will not ruin anyone. That's just where it gets bad. If those different opinions or decisions destroys one person, that's where it is so bad. But in the midst of all our different opinions and ideas about things, I think we should come to a point where we can freely talk to our friends about things. If you're doing a certain thing that I don't like, I should be able to tell you. If you're doing something that I feel is not good for you, I should be able to tell you. What are friends for? And we can't even, there's nothing you can do about the fact that if Mr. A is doing something bad and you are trying to talk to Mr. A to not do it, you can't even help it that Mr. A automatically thinks you are correcting them because you think you are better than them. I think that's a notion that we all have. We just feel that someone cannot correct you unless the person is better than you. So if anyone is trying to correct you, it means the person feels they are better than you. But sometimes that's not even the case. Sometimes the person might be struggling with the same thing, but has identified the fact that it's a struggle. So he's able to tell you, Omo, don't do that thing, no. it doesn't mean that I'm better, it doesn't mean I've overcome it. It's just that almost it's a struggle to me too, and I know that it is not a good thing. That's why I'm advising you. So we don't necessarily have to just be on the defensive side when we're being corrected. Honestly, we know when we're doing something bad. That's another thing. When you're doing something bad, you know that you're doing something bad. Nobody has to tell you, you know it. So when someone tells you all that forming that you do, all that talk that you do and all of that, it's just you being on the defensive. It's just you trying to give yourself excuse for doing what you are doing. But you know it's bad. You know you should not be doing it, you know. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't stop us from correcting our friends. It shouldn't stop us from speaking our minds. It shouldn't stop us from helping the people around us. When you see someone going to the pit, please don't say, if I tell this person to not enter, the person will hiss and jump and enter. Still tell the person to not enter. At least let it be that you told the person no. It's not that the person did not know, it's the person that chose to enter. So just do your own part. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Do your own part. Correct where you think someone needs correction, help where you think someone needs help, and you, when help is given, don't think that it's because the person is better than you that they are trying to form, I'm giving you help, I'm correcting you. Kuku take, you know you need help, kuku collect help. Let's not be making things difficult in this life. You know you need help and they're offering you help, kuku collect it and move on. You know what you're doing is wrong and they're correcting you, kuku accept the correction and move on and try to do better and be better. Sometimes shame might just come in and you try to cover that shame, feeling like, I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing. But all that doesn't matter at the end of the day. Your life, your health, your soul, your future is what matters. We should all allow shame be shame and just let it go. Guilt, let's let guilt be guilt. Let's let shame and fear, let's leave these emotions. They are what they are, we know that they are there, but there are other things that matter a lot more. I'm really grateful and happy that you guys were able to, I don't know if you sorted out the issues, but somehow you guys came back as friends and you guys bonded and you guys retraced your steps back with God. Please, the fact that you're doing so well in your life, it doesn't mean you should automatically run away from the people you know that aren't doing as well as you are. And it doesn't have to be like financially, or no, it means in any aspect. Maybe your emotional state of mind, mentally, financially, spiritually. It doesn't mean you should run away from them. Maybe you are the closest they have to getting things done better, you know. So you stay so close that you can influence and help them, but you also stay so far that they do not influence you and just get you to drop from where you are. You get? So let's keep being our brother's keeper. Let's keep being our sister's keeper. Let's keep loving one another. Let's keep doing our part. Let's keep advising where advice is needed, correcting where correction is needed, help where help is needed, and receive it when any of these things are offered to you because you know that you need them. And the belief is, you know, I'm one person that believes that this life can get better. I am not of the notion that there is no hope for Nigeria, there's no hope, the situation is so bad, nothing can happen. No, I'm one person that believes that anything can happen, like anything can change overnight, and that's my belief and that's what I choose to work with. So let's just remain hopeful. Let's not give up on each other. Let's not give up on our country. Let's not give up on our families. Let's not give up on our relationships, on our friends. Let's try to work things out. Let's try to make things better. Let's try to do things better from our own end and from our own side, you know. I'm so grateful for this story you shared. So grateful for all the stories we shared today. I know today's video was a bit longer than usual, and it's because I didn't want to carry over any story to the next episode. The next episode is a special episode entirely, and I just didn't want to just mix it, you get. So I hope you learned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things from this episode as much as I did. And this is not an appreciation video, so I will not say anything more. I will just say that I can't wait to see you on the next episode, which is our final episode. Thank you so much to every single person that has shared this story with us so far. I'm beyond thrilled. I said I was not going to say anything, but I'm saying something. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing this story with us, and I just hope and pray that you learned something. I would hate to think that you listened or watched any of these videos and you left without taking anything with you. I pray not. But I am so hopeful that you take one thing with you and you will implement it. And you'll have something to be grateful for. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next episode that I'm super excited about. And have yourselves an amazing weekend. I love you guys so much. Thank you.